Hey, I wanted to share something that God has taught me recently, and it really has given me so much peace in my mind and in my life. I honestly didn't realize that there's so many layers of trusting God, and I say layers because when God says trust me, He says trust me for everything. And there were a lot of things in my life I had no idea that I was holding on to, and I had no idea that I was wanting to. What, honey? Okay. I had no idea that two pieces. There you go. Shh, try to be quiet because we're really sleepy. I had no idea that I was holding on to them and that I was choosing not to trust God over these things. One of them was just trusting that when hard times happen, especially during very special times like birthdays or whatever it may be, I put a lot of emphasis for things to be extra perfect during those times, and I will kind of like daydream about it going a certain way, and if it doesn't, I'm disappointed, or if something inconvenient or hard happens during it'll just really be upsetting to me. And so, if there's someone in my life that hurts me during a special time, I honestly really struggle with not resenting them and just having a hard time forgiving. It'll take, I know I need to forgive and I wanted to forgive, but without knowing it, I would hold on to those hurts and have anger towards that person because I would think, how dare you do that to me during that special time, and have resentment towards that person and really struggle not resenting them. And it's definitely a battle because I will try not to do those things, but it's back and forth, and the devil tries to remind me of it. Well, anyways, recently God has taught me to trust Him, that He knows what He's doing when these hard things happen. He's in control, He's sovereign, and especially this past year with certain trials and hard times God allowed in my life, some of them happened during special times, and after the fact, I would look back, and sometimes I would look through pictures, and I would think, that could have been perfect if this didn't happen. And recently, God has really freed me from those struggles by a simple phrase of, everything was as I intended it to be. Trust me. And that has really given me a peace in my mind, because now when I'm looking back, I'm choosing to trust, and also I'm choosing to look at the positive, look at the beautiful things that were untouched and still remained despite the bad things that happened, and to just accept. A big thing for me has been to accept what happened, knowing God is in control. He has a reason for it. Trusting Him with what happened, and allow Him to take what happened to teach me things, to change me. And He used a verse in my life recently that has taught me in this area. And I've always loved this verse, and I never applied it to this this area of my life that I'm telling you guys about. And it's I'm sorry I can't quote it, but I know it's a pretty well-known verse in the Bible. God says nothing can separate us from the love of God. And I've always seen that as something where it means, no matter if a person hurts you, that can't take God's love away from you, No matter what mistake, no matter the mistakes you make, that can't take away the love of Christ from you. But then God helped me to apply this to this area of my life. When I look back at special memories that sometimes have hard times in it, and the devil will try to remind me of those hard times, and you can't be completely happy when you think of that memory because remember that happened. And God told me nothing can separate you from the love of God. And that's why I can look back at those memories and see the good and trust God for the bad. Because when I look back at those beautiful times, I view special memories or any good thing, any joy, I view it as a gift from God. It is from God. It is Him loving me through the people He's placed in my life. That is the love of God. So that's the love of God. Nothing can separate me from the love of God. So in those special memories, I can hold on to the love of God and say, that has been untouched and unchanged because nothing can separate me from God's love. And that really helped. So the reason why I'm sharing this is so I can share God's love. Oh boy. And this is God's love. I feel God's love all the time from this little boy. I wanted to share it. I want to continue to share the ways that God is helping me and teaching me, because I don't want to keep it to myself. I want to keep sharing and say, look what God's done for me, so that I can be an encouragement and so that God can spread His love and truth to anyone who watches this. So I really appreciate you watching, and I hope I explained things well. Have a wonderful day. Bye.